Hi, my name is Chiquita Wright, and today I'd like to give you a brief history on how the prohibition of marijuana is rooted in racism. The vilification of marijuana began in the early 1900s in the western states, with Mexicans who brought the drug with them across the border. Tension developed between small farmers and the larger farms that relied on cheap labor from Mexican immigrants. When the Great Depression hit, making jobs and welfare resources scarce, Mexicans were hated even more. Ironically, California was the first state to pass an anti-marijuana law banning preparations of hemp or loco weed. The Mormon Church also played a role in the early stages of Prohibition. Around 1910, the Mormon Church in Synod decreed polygamy a religious mistake, causing a large number of Mormons to leave the state of Utah and move into northwest Mexico. But they had little success converting the native Mexicans, or heathens, and ultimately did not feel comfortable there, so they decided to move back to the U.S., bringing marijuana with them. But the Mormon Church disapproved of the use of any euphoriants, so in 1915, meeting again in Synod, the Church decreed the use of marijuana contrary to the Mormon religion. Following their lead, the state legislature officially prohibited the use of marijuana and imposed the first criminal laws regarding its use. In the eastern states, racism also played a significant role in the prohibition, as the problem was connected to Latin and African Americans, particularly black jazz musicians. Marijuana was a large part of the music scene and was often referenced in popular black jazz songs of the time. By the 1930s, fear tactic rumors were sweeping the nation, convincing the public of the evils of marijuana. One of the most powerful proponents of the cause was a man named Harry J. Anslinger. He rose to power in 1930 as the director of the newly created Federal Bureau of Narcotics. Seeing a golden career opportunity in which he could both define the problem and the solution, he immediately latched on to marijuana as his primary crusade, casting marijuana as the most dangerous kind of drug. He claimed that marijuana was responsible for turning ordinary young people into sex-crazed degenerates, rapists, and even axe murderers. He also claimed that jazz and swing music, which were associated with Latin and African Americans, were a direct result of marijuana use. Anslinger further went on to state that marijuana caused white women to seek sexual relations with black men, and that it caused black men to think they were as good as white men. Together with fellow Mexican hater William Hearst, a newspaper publisher, he embarked on a campaign to demonize the use of marijuana before Congress in the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. His only true opposition came from Dr. William C. Woodward, but Woodward was effectively silenced by the Congressional Committee, and yellow journalism won out over medical science on the basis of the lies perpetuated by Anslinger and Hearst. On August 2, 1937, marijuana was made illegal at the federal level, and today it still technically is.